Hello everybody and welcome to another video. The old world is upon us. It launches tomorrow and there are already going to be grumblings in the internet. So let's have a little bit of a talk about it. Will Warhammer succeed? Will it fail? Let's have a chat. Yes, the old world is coming and I am super excited. There's going to be a video tomorrow about my new chosen army and plans I have for it, and you may have guessed with some of the new artwork up on the channel where I'm going to be putting my allegiances to. But it's really, I'm pretty excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. But the internet doesn't seem to be excited. What a shock. Well, so basically, it seems to be that some people seem to think that Warhammer The Old World is not going to succeed. And is it? I personally think that it's going to absolutely go nuts. I think this is going to be sold out. I think this is going to be... Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty big success for Games Workshop. The hype is real for this. But before we really delve into this topic, please, can you subscribe to the channel? There's about 75% of my viewers have not subscribed, and it would be amazing if you could subscribe. I am on a goal and a push to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That gives me 12 months to do it, and about 700 odd subscribers less, about 650, maybe just a little bit more to actually do. And I think that's perfectly achievable goal for 2024. And you can help me achieve my goals by simply hitting the subscribe button. And yeah, and it's completely free and it doesn't cost you anything. But if you do want to actually support the channel in other ways, you can check out the members area that way. You know, yeah, there, wherever I put the picture, and you can get access to free content. It's 99p is the cheapest. It's pretty much the cheapest I can make it, and that literally helps buy me a coffee once a month, and I do like my coffee. You can also go in for the Trooper level and get access to some additional free content, longer form painting tutorials. There is one up there now. I'm currently finishing off what I should have had December's video, and then next month, if you are an Old World fan in February, there will be a new video for the Old World, so keep an eye out for that. So yes, thank you very much for all the support. But anyway, enough of that waffling. Let's get back into the video. So, the old world and the grumblings. So, there's a lot of videos popping up. This isn't going to work. It's not going to make Games Workshop money. It's too expensive. Yeah. You know the usual crap that you see on YouTube. And yes, I clickbaited you all into coming into with my clickbait thumbnails. But hey, that's YouTube. It's what you got to do. Get over it. So, let's first look at the will it succeed. Of course it's going to succeed. Like, the hype for this is insane. Like, seriously insane. You have literal streamers and YouTubers like the Honest Wargamer who hates books, and is actually saying that the books that this game is getting is good. What's that about? You have got people like the Outer Circle making relatively reasonable videos about the pricing and actually showing that the pricing of these boxes isn't that bad. Like, what is going on? The world has gone upside down. The only thing that we're missing is a Discourse Miniatures video dissing the old world, which we haven't had. Like, wow. Like, 2024 seems to be, so far, starting out in a very Twilight era type thing. But in all intents and purposes, this is going to succeed for Games Workshop. Let's not kid ourselves here. These two boxes, the Bretonnians and the Tomb Kings, are going to sell out. And when people talk about the price, they're failing to forget that these boxes are essentially two of the old battalion boxes with a hardback rulebook and a new hero miniature in it. And when you actually look at like so the Tomb Kings box, you're essentially getting double what those battalion boxes were in 2003. And those boxes back 21 years ago were sold for £50. So if you apply that pricing to this new box, that's £50 per box, £100 worth of minis, which essentially covers the core of what this launch box is. That then leaves £75 to cover the large dragon, which is probably going to be retailed at £75 on its own. And then you've got 3 chariots and a hardback rulebook that we know is £42. Like, that isn't even adjusting for inflation. 21 years of inflation. That's pretty good going. And I think Games Workshop have done really well with that sort of pricing. And the units are coming in at double the box. So if you buy a box of Tomb Guard, you're getting 20 models rather than 10. So I'm completely expecting, when I'm able to buy my High Elves, that I'm going to be able to buy plastic Swordmasters of Hoth in boxes of 20 rather than boxes of 10, which is really good. I'm really super excited for this. They've also sort of let slip that they're going to be giving this support, that there are centerpiece models done for each of the factions, which kind of opens up speculation, and I'm going to be doing a whole different video on that speculation of what other factions could be getting, because, hey, I'm a YouTuber and that's what we do. So I think if you're listening to people on the internet now and they're saying that this isn't going to succeed and this is going to fail, I would take it with a huge pinch of salt. This is going to succeed. Games Workshop are being very, very careful with this, and I have said this from the outset, that Games Workshop are being careful, and there's a reason why they're only coming at this with a minimal amount of new models. And that's because this product line failed before. You've got to remember that 10 years ago, this game was killed off. It was replaced by Age of Sigmar, which has made more money than the old world did in its last few years. But I think Games Workshop are being clever with how they're doing it. They're bringing back older models. It allows older existing players that haven't burnt their armies. One of the best memes ever. Thank you. Please make a video about your getting back into the old world and how you regret selling that quite rather nice Dark Elf army that you set on fire in your back garden. Please reach out and let me know, because I would love to hear from you. But yes, you know, I think Games Workshop are doing this right. They're bringing back the older models, which allows older veteran players to bring out and dust off older miniatures. They have tactically, very carefully and craftively changed the base sizes, so you're going to have to go and buy some bases from them or from other places like I did. I went to eBay and bought 125mm square bases for literally £5. The movement trays are an interesting price point. They're £26 for the old fantasy movement trays. That, I would say, is they're going to sell because people are going to buy them. If you stick around my channel, I'm going to be making a video very shortly on how to make your own movement trays. So I'm just literally waiting for my bases to arrive so I can show you how to do it in a really, really cheap way. And I'm literally talking cheap, like you could make a lot of basic movement trays for a handful of pounds. Like, yay. So, yes, there are a couple of things that are an issue with the pre-orders, like the pricing of the dice and the cards, but let's be fair, you don't need these dice. And this is somebody who is a nut for faction dice. I like faction dice for my armies. My Age of Sigmar armies, all but the Cities of Sigmar, have faction dice. Will I get the faction dice for the High Elves when they come out? Yeah. Will I get the cards? Yeah. Of course I am. And this is the reason why they're going to sell. Because people like me will look at that and go, I don't really want to pay £26 for a deck of cards and some dice, but I'm going to. Because. Exactly. And that is the reason why. And, the main reason why I'm going to be buying the dice is I want an artillery dice. I don't have an artillery dice. And I need an artillery dice. I have lots of scatter dice, but I don't have an artillery dice. And an artillery dice is very important, especially if you want to guess ranged weapons. So, which is also a really good thing that they brought back. It was one of the main reasons why I stopped playing 8th edition Fantasy Battle. They removed guess ranges, and it very annoyed me being a dwarf player at the time. So there you go. yeah, I think this is going to succeed. Now, I will say this is we already have the problems that are happening on the interwebs where we have local stores, this little tweet, saying that they're not getting access to any stock. Now, Games Workshop could be doing this deliberately to force people into the larger online retailers and into their own store themselves. You never know, they could be doing that, or it could be a simple case is that Games Workshop probably weren't expecting this to be as big as it is, and I've only made a limited amount of stuff, and they're now like, oh fuck. But you never know, it could be a tactical thing, it could simply be a thing that the allocation is if their stores and their web stores are getting the vast majority of it, and then the larger online retailers like Firestorm, Wayland, Element Games, Goblin Gaming will get a huge chunk of stock, and then the smaller stores will get it. You've got to remember that Games Workshop level their retailers on a certain scale, so you can literally be like at the bottom of the run and have one stand. And I don't think they really get access to very much. They're kind of told what they have to have on that stand. And then you get larger super type stores that have pretty much access to the entire catalogue of Games Workshop's products. So it really sort of depends on where your local store fits in on that scale. I imagine is pretty much what they're going to get. I know one of my local stores, they've already said they have no idea what's coming in. They don't even know what they're getting. They haven't been told what they're getting. So I think that's going to be a problem. And this also, in a way, creates hype. This is a shitty way of doing FOMO. And I will sort of criticize Games Workshop if that is their deliberate plan to do this, because it drives people into sort of running around and buying it directly from them at full price or from one of the other larger retailers. And as though they're going to miss out. That FOMO feeling will be there. If they've deliberately done this. They may not necessarily have deliberately done this. It may just be how their retail system works for local smaller stores. But we'll see. It may simply down to be the fact that they haven't made enough product and they weren't expecting this huge amount of hype. But we'll have to see. I would say Monday morning is going to be very, very interesting. I would even say tomorrow evening is probably going to be very interesting once pre-orders have been up for a good few hours and people are able to buy what they wanted and do the like. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. But for this whole naysayer, this is going to fail, it's not going to be very good, and it's going to fail drastically for Games Workshop, and it's not going to be supported. I think this game is going to be supported. I think it's going to be around for the foreseeable future. I think it's going to be treated in a way that the Horus Heresy is treated. I think it's going to be super cool. And I think it's going to be, it's here. And you've got to remember as well that Games Workshop started this market in regards to fantasy rank and file games, and they left it. And that opened the door for companies like Mantic and Parabellum and Cool Mini or Not to step in with other rank and file type games like Kings of War, Conquest, and the Game of Thrones A Song of Ice and Fire game. So the big boy isn't there, and the big boy is now coming back into that space. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens. It'll be interesting to see how the old fantasy players react to this. I think they're going to be reacting very positively. And all in all, I am looking forward to it. So that's the video. If you are looking forward to the old world, let me know in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it in one or two ways. You can subscribe to the channel, or you can check out my members area. And yeah, and you can do it that. But please like the video and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And if you want to be like one of these cool dudes like Mrs. Pointy, you know, check out the members area and have a look at it. And I will catch you in the next video, people. Enjoy the old world. It's coming hard.